Ice District in Edmonton. It is a showcase event for some of the top under-18 draft prospects on the planet. And today, inside this building, scouts are going to get a first-hand look at how these young men perform under pressure. Because Cameron Gauntz, there is a lot to be determined here in day number 3 at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup. Welcome everybody to TSN's continuing coverage. 2 great games on the network today. And as we take a look at the schedule, the thing to know is that Sweden is in jeopardy. That game against Canada later on tonight, their fate could already be sealed, because if Switzerland beats Slovakia in regulation or in overtime, they advance and Sweden is out. Slovakia has a slim chance if they can get past Switzerland today, and Czechia and Finland both playing for a spot in the semifinals. That game will determine it all. The United States already moving on, as is Canada. With all the action from the booth today, Gord Miller and Craig Button. Guys?
Well, still reverberations from the win yesterday by the Swiss over Sweden. A 7-6 victory that puts them in position to make it to the semifinals. Remember Nat Kelly in the 1990s? Slovaks do have some. Oliver Ozengani played in last year's IHF Under-18 tournament and this tournament as well last year.
Well, he's played in the USHL as well, so he's accustomed to playing up an age group or 2 in some cases. And with Oliver, there's a lot of ability there. And sometimes you got to be patient with players as they're a little bit younger, trying to find their way in leagues that are really challenging. He's going to go to the St. John Sea Dogs. Jim Halton, the new coach there, is really, really strong. He helps players be the best they can be. He's going to be surrounded by some big-time talent in Alexei Joseph and Jamie Glantz, certain first-round draft picks. I think that not only Jimmy Halton will help him, but the skills surrounding Ozengani will help as well.
And why are the Swedes in trouble in this tournament? These 2 teams, the Slovaks scored a tying goal with 3.5 minutes to go in the 3rd period, went to overtime against the Swedes, and of course last night the Swiss scored the tying goal with 3.5 left, and then the winner late to take 3 points from the Swedes, right?
All right, Gord, thank you kindly. Now, the thing to know about this Swiss lineup, there is a big-time prospect potentially going first overall in the upcoming draft in Jonah Neuenschwander, big number 19. He is a center, he is strong, and we are going to be seeing all kinds of him here this afternoon, Cameron Gauntz. It'll be fascinating to see on this stage, in this moment, on the precipice of pushing his country to somewhere they haven't been at this tournament, how he performs.
All indications so far is today is going to be his best day. He's the type of player so far that wants the puck. When the game matters, when there's a tense moment in the game, he has wanted it. And you've seen that. A lot of times when you have a player of his ilk, of his skill level, there might be times where he delegates. He's not sure of himself at this age. That's not him. This guy wants the puck when it matters most. He's shooting from distance. He's beating goalies. He's celebrating hard every time he gets the chance. That type of dog-like mentality is what a lot of teams will love to see. Skills, you can improve. Mentality, that's harder. The Jim Harbaugh quote, it's easier to tame a tiger than paint stripes on a cat. That's what he has. He brings that type of ability and that type of energy to every game. So today, I don't see why they wouldn't try to ride him to the next round.
Absolutely. Loves to step in and let that shot go from distance. We've seen him do that a couple of times. He's got a great shot on him, no question. All right, for Slovakia, look, they last medaled in 2021. It was a silver medal. They've got a chip and a chair here. If they can beat the Swiss today and Canada takes care of business against Sweden tonight, they have the opportunity to move on as well. So, lots on the line in the early game of the day here in Edmonton. Switzerland, Slovakia, a chance to move on is sitting there for each of them to try and grab.
The 2026 Hlinka Gretzky Cup on TSN, brought to you by Esso. From the Esso Medals program to representing Team Canada, Esso was dedicated to Canada's game. By TELUS, now offering 5-year plan price lock on select mobility and internet plans. And by Tim's Bacon Grilled Cheese Melts. Bacon.
Earning PC Optimum points at Esso and mobile stations so you can redeem them for cheesecake? That's rewarding. From beauty to grocery to special treats. Earn at Esso and mobile and get rewards within reach.
Sub dog. Sub dog. Sub dog. Sub dog. Sub dog. Sub dog.
Sub dog.
Subway's new Sub Dog. Loaded like you like it. All beef, a foot long.
Dog.
Imagine if your fave spot was always nice. Your usual, perfect. Your friends, right on.
And Josh Miko. And a second bite of the apple in this tournament for Aiden Yue, who didn't last long against Canada. Pulled 11 minutes in after allowing 4 goals on 9 shots. The son of IHF Hall of Famer Cristobal Yue plays for Lausanne in the Swiss Under-18 League. And for the Slovaks, Jakub Husar returns their goal. In their opener against the Swedes, he left in the 3rd period with what looked like a minor injury, but he comes back now, plays for Kosic's under-20 team in the Slovak Junior League.
Well, Nico Havel is not available after the great performance on Tuesday. He's still in the cold tub, just trying to make sure all that swelling from the pucks he took go down a little.
Fabio Schumacher, the coach of Switzerland, actually played a year of minor hockey here in Edmonton, and František Stolz, the head coach of the Slovaks, his first year as head coach of their Slovak Under-18 program, which is a full-time program in their country. So an unexpected position perhaps for these two. And who kicks the door open? Again, a win of any kind for the Swiss, and they are into the semifinal, and Sweden is out. A regulation win by the Slovaks would force the Swedes to beat Canada tonight. There's Vasco with a long shot that gets through, knocked away by Yue. Yue's older brother Yuan played a couple of World Juniors for the Swiss. The shot moves in, it's knocked away by Yue. So he took an unholy beating in the early going against Canada, but his father could probably be of some assistance in that department as Dominic Kelly moves in along with Trussell. Dominic Kelly drives the net. That's knocked away, and a good defensive play by Jakub Vasco. Cristobal Yue was on the wrong end of some bad scores, playing for some awful French teams internationally.
Well, you talked about it with respect to international play. If you're a lesser talented team, your goaltender becomes, it's always an important position, becomes even more important.
Centering pass for Leo Ulrich, who scored twice against the Swedes. Ulrich drops that back. Neuenschwander plays it back across, loose puck in front. Neuenschwander back on defense now. A centerman having to play D at the moment. And uses that long reach to nullify that rush by Miroslav Kalazak. Neuenschwander's already played in 2 World Junior Championships. Depending on what happens with his pro career, he could play in 5.
Has anybody ever played in 5, Ward?
No, there's been a dozen players who played in 4. And this is at the top division only. So there are some players who have played in, lower division a couple times. But in the top division, no one's ever played in 5.
Well, you got to start at 15 if you want to play in 5. And usually if you're good at that 15, you're too good at 18 or 19 to be around to play your 4th or 5th season.
There's a big hit there. by Chuck Grady, who's made his presence felt in this tournament, but a 2-on-1 the other way. That puck is foot high by Sam Neff. Neff scored the game-tying goal for the Swiss with 3.5 to go in the third period against Sweden. And that long shot taken by Marek Pachansky is gloved by UA.
There's a step up. Better be aware.
That's Sean Grady plays at the Atlantic Coast Academy in the United States.
You know, it's interesting. You're trying to move it forward as a Swiss player, and then all of a sudden it's like you hit a brick wall and you're stopped dead in your tracks.
Right back down to the Slovak zone. Nicely called against the Swiss, who were relegated from the IHF Under-18 tournament 2 years ago. Last year won promotion from Division 1A. However, the IHF reinstated Belarus to the top division. As a result, Switzerland stays in Division 1A. We'll have to try to win promotion this year, and Germany will be down with them after getting relegated last year. So Germany and Switzerland will likely battle each other to see who gets promoted to Division 1 in 2027. Or rather 2028. So.
And you've pointed this out that it's not medal play, it's group play. So,
right.
So that head-to-head with Germany and Switzerland, well, the winner of that game essentially determines, right?
Yeah, it's a straight round robin. But for the Swiss, a bitter disappointment for a country that has really focused a lot on their junior program. They have tried to improve the under-18 programs of their club teams. They've tried to make their under-20 league better. They've made an under-21 league to try to expand the field. Of course, at the senior men's level, 3 straight gold medal games have appeared in the Men's World Championship. They've lost all 3.
Well,
in fact, 5
overtime.
Yeah, last year in Zurich in overtime to Finland. They've lost 5 gold medal games in the last 13 World Championships.
That speaks to pretty good performance, right? At an elite level competition.
What's fascinating, Craig, is there was a time when, in 2013, when they got to the gold medal game, that was considered one of the greatest accomplishments in their country's history. Now it's disappointing when they go into it. So the mindset's different.
Which is good. You raise the bar, right? You want to make sure that you have a competitive team, and the way you do that is make sure you're in those competitive environments. We talked about Patrick Fisher. I think he's done a great job helping the program build right from the youth all the way through to the senior national team.
Here's Trussell. Slides that in, chipped in by Alessandro Domicelli. Scored that game against the Swedes yesterday. Played for Portland in the Western League last year as a 16-year-old. His dad was a slick playmaker.
That's a great word. That's what he was, slick.
Long-time agents in Europe.
He came and worked with the Vancouver Giants last year as the GM. He's going to work in player development in the coming year. They hired Mike Dick to come back as GM and coach. I think it speaks volumes about Matt Domicelli saying, hey, this is a good place for me to be. I'll be part of the development. Obviously, Michael Dick has a long history of success and a history with the Vancouver Giants. Recent assistant coach with the American Hockey League champion Toronto Marlies.
Another forward back on defense. This is Leo Ulrich defending. On Lazowski with a shot kicked up by UA. The long rebound picked up by Ulrich. So we've seen 2 of Switzerland's best offensive players having to put another defensive hat here in this game in the first period. Up back in by Richard Halash. Like a lot of the Slovak players, plays in the Czech Junior League, plays for Brno. Halash led the Czech under-17 league in points last year with 70 in 42 games. And a chance back in front for Neff. That's turned away. Swiss like where their program is going. 11 skaters in the NHL this past year. 1 goalie, Akira Schmid. Bonkosh moves in. A little drop pass there is knocked away by Janis Palata. We made the point the other day that whoever you think the best Swiss NHL players of all time, he's probably playing in the league right now. It's Yossi Hischier, Balata has that shot blocked.
And he's sure the superb two-way center with the New Jersey Devils, and Roman Josi amongst the best defensemen, a former Norris Trophy winner. I don't know if you're ever you're always a Norris Trophy winner,
Yeah.
you're just not a current Norris Trophy winner.
He has won the Norris Trophy.
Right.
Yes. And there is a look at Jonas Neuenschwander, the 16-year-old. Will turn 17 later this year, eligible for next year's draft. He's been around so long.
I know.
He's 16 years old. We've been talking about it for 2 years.
Well, I'll tell you how long he's been around. I know exactly how to spell his last name.
And say it.
You know, certain players, you see the name, you go, okay, I got to keep looking. No, I know exactly how to spell.
He's actually 17 now.
Yeah, he'll turn 18 next year.
Next year, yeah. And playing his third World Junior Championship for the Swiss before he's drafted. Look out, little malfunction behind the net there for Alex Sadowski. Moves out ahead.
When you saw at the World Championships Ivar Stenberg and Viggo Bjork take on prominent roles for Sweden at that senior men's level.
As O'Leary moves it ahead for Trussell, shoots. And the stop is made by Huszar.
And you have to think that Neuenschwander might have a chance to play some pre-tourney games or some of the tournament games that they play in Europe during the season, because he's that advanced. A little pass here. Just settled in as a goaltender. Huszar.
Mentioned had to leave the game. He allowed 2 goals on 28 shots against the Swedes. Had to leave in the third period. It was a 4-3 overtime loss for the Slovaks against the Swedes. The Slovaks like where their program is going too. They lost the under-18 gold medal game last spring, the IHF tournament, to the Swedes. They beat Canada in the preliminary round.
Yes. And it wasn't accidental. It wasn't accidental that they beat Canada. They played a really good game.